Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Milwaukee Beer Review. I'm Josh.
I'm Ross.
And we've got some beers from another great Milwaukee area brewery today. So they are not in Milwaukee, but they are in Waukesha, Wisconsin, which is just on the western edge of the Milwaukee area, metropolitan area. So what we have for you today is some great beer from a little brewery called Raised Grain. So Raised Grain actually opened back in 2015. They just built a brand new location a couple years ago, back in 2018 in Waukesha. Really cool place.
Really nice place.
Really awesome food. We've been there a few times. I know several of us together. Really, really great stuff. Enjoyed their beer tour. Really, really great stuff that they have there. So what we've got for you today is some great beer, some stuff from different time periods a little bit from the last couple of years. Some barrel aging done here. Before we dive into it, I think just a little bit more about the brewery. They were started by two local doctors. In fact, you've got probably more information on that.
My dad worked with them. I think if I remember right, they worked over at Frater Hospital, and they decided to collaborate and do this together. So great individuals. I've never met them myself. Or speaking to my dad about them, just great guys and everything. So really cool they took this on.
Yeah, so some entrepreneurship happening here, some new beer in the marketplace, and excited to try it. So we've got 3 beers for you on tap today. We've got a barrel-aged Belgian triple, we've got a barrel-aged Barleywine, and then we've got a bourbon barrel-aged Imperial Stout, which is their Anniversary Stout. So we'll talk about those as we dive into them. But some pretty big beers today. I think we're going to be feeling good.
And it's pretty cool that we're doing something like this, because if you watch our previous shows, we tend to do like a series of beers where it's all kind of the same style. So the fact that we have 3 very different styles of beer here is very interesting. We're going to start off today with their Birdseye Belgian-aged, barrel-aged triple Belgian. Can't talk.
Barrel-aged Belgian triple.
Thank you. So they normally have their Birdseye Belgian triple, which is in the brewery, and it's a very year-round beer for them. This is the same beer. It's just aged in oak Chardonnay barrels, and this isn't coming in at about 11% ABV. So it's a nice big beer. Should be interesting.
I can't remember ever having a beer aged in Chardonnay barrels.
No, I can't think of that either.
This should be interesting. Yeah. Let's get it in glass.
All right, let's get this open. So this being a Belgian, I do expect a pretty heavy carbonation on it, so I'm going to give it a nice slow pour. Nice amber color. It's a really nice looking beer, actually. Not a ton of carbonation, but again, I think it's more the pour this time. This should probably have a little more head on it. You know, that is a classic Belgian beer right there.
Looks good. All right, let's get a little nose on the Belgian triple here. Ooh.
Almost apples.
I get apples. Yeah,
I was not expecting that.
Yeah, definitely heavy apples on the nose is what I get.
I don't know much about Chardonnay.
I'm guessing it's Chardonnay.
Yeah,
it's got to be Chardonnay.
Like, I have zero knowledge of Chardonnay, but that was a surprising upfront because I've had the regular Birdseye. I get nothing, and that's got to be all that Chardonnay. Nothing what I'm feeling now, I should say.
I'm getting a little bit of oakiness, I think, on the nose from the barrels, but mostly just a little oakiness and apple. That's primarily what I'm getting on the nose. It's very prominent. Yeah, interesting. I'm curious what this tastes like. Let's give it a go.
Cheers.
Cheers. Ooh. It changes, it changes pretty significantly from the front end to the back.
So the apple, I don't get as much on the taste of the apple. I get a little bit of it, which is nice because it's subtle throughout, but it's not as much as you get on the nose.
Definitely not as much apple on the palate as you get on the nose. You expect apple, I think, from this, but it's there, but it's a lot more subtle on the palate. What I get is a lot more of that smoky oak tone to this beer as I drink it. Especially I get a punch of it at the front, and it actually almost intensifies just a little bit through the back end of the beer. Yeah. Like that oakiness is there. Sweetness.
Yeah, definitely got some sweetness, which is probably the closest thing to the Belgian I'm getting. From a Belgian standpoint, which I don't drink a ton of Belgian beers, but this one, I don't get that true Belgian taste I normally get.
This is far from that traditional Belgian style. Like, you're not getting that that traditional Belgian flavor to this beer. It's the apple and that oakiness from the barrels that really overtakes it, but in a very interesting and unique way, actually, not in a bad way.
Yeah, no, it's very good. I could definitely see myself ordering this again. I don't think this is a beer I would sit there and put off the past. I really enjoy it. Look at this on a scale. I'm gonna go with 3.75 actually. I really enjoy it. I think it's a very good beer. It's a very unique beer. It's definitely something different than I've had in the past.
Yeah.
And honestly, that what you get in the nose is it smells so good. It makes the beer that much more enjoyable.
So I think my rating on this, if I'm looking for a Belgian, this is not what I'm looking for. If I'm looking for a traditional Belgian, this is not it. For me, I'm going to put this right in the middle. I'm going to put this at around a 3. I like the beer. It's a well-made beer, but I'm going to put it at around a 3 just because it's just not giving me what I expected. And not necessarily in a bad way, just not in a good way either. It's just kind of right down the middle for me. So I'm going to put it at a 3.
And if you really like the traditional Belgian taste, go get their just regular Birdseye Triple. It is a classic Belgian beer. It's very, very good, very tasty. This just has a nice, unique twist to it.
Interesting stuff.
Yeah.
All right. So up next, this is the 2021 barrel-aged Barleywine. So a lot more information on this one on the interwebs than the next one. So this one was actually aged 18 months in Heaven Hill rye barrels, and then also aged in Four Roses bourbon barrels. So that's kind of an interesting twist to the Barleywine as well. So it'll be interesting to see how that works. My understanding also is that the Heaven Hill barrels, the rye barrels that this was aged in, were actually from the 2019 Anniversary Imperial Stout. So they reused those same barrels for the barrel aging on this barley wine. So this one comes in at a big old whopping 14%. So taking a little jump up from what we just saw on the triple. So let's get this thing in the glass and give it a shot.
All right, so, damn wax.
We knew this was going to be a problem.
There we
Hey,
go.
well done. Wax tops are the best until you need to open the bottle.
All right, so let's get this in the glass. So nice and dark, which you do get out of those barley wines. A little transparent.
Than I was even expecting.
Not a lot of carbonation on these. You're not going to get a ton there.
Not with that ABV.
No. So, no. This looks tasty.
All right. All right, let's get a little nose on this barley wine. It's the first one we've done, apparently.
Yes. I'm very excited about.
I just learned in commercial break. Oh, boy.
So, I love barley wines. I'll be honest. I don't know a ton about like what constitutes a barley wine now that we're kind of doing this, but you definitely get a little bit of that grape smell.
Yeah,
and I get
dark fruit, a lot of dark fruit notes, sweetness. I'm getting chocolate in there. I'm actually getting a decent amount of chocolate on the nose.
From the bourbon barrel age.
It's got to be. Yeah, dark fruit, chocolate, sweetness all over the nose. A little bit of bourbon coming through, but like it's not heavy.
Yeah.
It's not heavy. Wow,
No,
this smells
that dark
amazing.
Fruit,
All right, let's give this a shot.
Cheers.
Cheers.
So not a lot up front. I'm getting a much more of a back end taste. And it lingers. It really lingers. If you just let's say you get a real good like dark red wine, sweet wine. Not so much sweet, but just a nice red wine taste to this at the end.
Definitely get a ton of the oaky characters of the barrel aging on this. Like that actually almost overpowers the rest of the notes in the barley wine. I still get that dark fruit. It's really, really good.
Such a smooth beer.
It's very so smooth. I mean, you're right. I mean, complete lack of carbonation on this. It's there, but it's super subtle. A lot of smokiness, oakiness on the front, and it pushes all the way through the back end of the beer. I think the dark fruit notes kind of dissipate, and at the back end and the tail end of this beer, I get a lot more of the oaky character of the bourbon barrels, I think.
I'm getting more of that dark fruit at the end.
Really?
I'm getting that at the end, and like I said, if you take a sip and you just let it sit there and linger for a bit, I'm getting a lot more of that just kind of stays there for a bit. and it's really tasty.
The more I drink this, the more I like it, actually.
Mm-hmm.
You start to just kind of, I feel like your palate just starts to absorb more of those barley wine notes, and it's just...
And what I love about barley wines are to always come out at a higher ABV, and these are just great, like, just sipping beers. You know, it kind of warms you up. It's a nice winter beer and everything for you. Definitely not one you want to run through or you have multiple in the night, but this is very good.
I do think I was expecting a little bit more on the front end based on the nose. It kind of is a little bit more subtle than I was expecting from the nose, but overall, a really, really solid beer. I would put this in Untappd probably around a 3.75. I think this is a really, really solid barley wine. This is a really good beer. But I'd put it in around a 3.75.
I got it a little bit ahead. I'm going to have it at 4. Okay. And I think part of it is because I very much enjoy barley wines. I agree with you about what you said about the front end taste. There's less there than I was hoping for, but just the subtleness and the smoothness of the beer presents to the whole way through and everything, and that nice kind of dark fruit that you're getting throughout is very tasty. Yep.
That's a good beer. Really good. Last but not least...
So we're finishing off with the 2020 Anniversary Imperial Stout. So this is their 5th year Anniversary Imperial Stout. It comes in at 12.4, so kind of right in the middle of what we had so far. We believe this is in Heaven Hill rye barrels, but we weren't able to find a lot when we looked into it. We kept checking different sites, and
previous years these were aged in Heaven Hill rye bourbon barrels. So I'm expecting kind of that. A little bit of a spicier tone to this beer. I think we got a little bit of that on the barley wine. We didn't even talk about it. But, looking forward to getting this in the glass and giving it a shot.
All right. See how easy that is?
No wax.
All right, so let's get this poured. Yep. Not a lot of carbonation. Oh, nice tan carbonation, though. I really like that with the barrel-aged stouts that we've seen so far. I think that's just a great color. It's a real... distinct look for this style of beer. Pretty black. A little carbonation there, dissipates fast, but it's nice, and no, that looks good.
All right. Get a nose on this last one. This is the Anniversary Imperial Stout, aged in what we assume are Heaven Hill rye barrels.
No, actually, one of the notes I'm getting right away is chocolate. I don't know.
I'm actually getting a little dark fruit on this. Like, that's more prominent, quite honest, than chocolate or even bourbon to me on this. I don't know if that's because we just had the barley wine. I mean, that's a normal note that you'd expect in an Imperial Stout, but that's what I'm getting more of. I am getting a little bit more chocolate.
Yeah.
A little roastiness. A little bit of the oak notes coming through on the nose, but...
I'm eating a lot of chocolate. I really am. Like, more so than some of the chocolate stouts we've had in the past. But
this one's a lot closer to cellar temp, so...
Yeah, good point.
Let's see what we got.
Cheers.
Cheers.
So if this is Heaven Hill rye barrels, that makes complete sense. You get that sweetness you get from the rye beers.
It's spicy. Yeah. There's it's just a spiciness to it that you get from the rye. It's very smooth. This is not your traditional bourbon. You can tell that right away. Definitely sweeter, right? You get a little bit more sweetness with this, I think, too, with the rye barrel aging than you get with a traditional bourbon barrel age. Stout.
Well, we've seen with previous bourbon barrel aged stouts, we get somewhat of a vanilla tinge. I'm not getting any of that. I'm getting much more of that chocolate notes that I've gotten, I think, in the previous ones we've had.
I'm getting a lot of sweetness, the rye, the spiciness up front. Out the back of the beer, I get the oaky kind of dark fruit flavors on the back end of the beer, but that kind of summarizes it for me. I mean, a little bit different, I think, from a traditional Imperial Stout and some other things that we've tried recently.
Yeah, it's tasty. I mean, I'm enjoying it. And if I'm looking at this, I'm going to put this one on Untappd. I'm going to come in about 3.25. I think it's very good. I guess I'm expecting more when I'm drinking a bourbon barrel aged stout or a rye. I just want a little taste notes, a little more flavoring to it.
Do you think that term anniversary amps up the expectations a little bit too?
It could. It should.
So I think a lot of breweries use that term when it's a special release type beer, and I think it amps up the expectations a little bit. And
this is when obviously they do year over year anniversary, and it's a big event for them. And it's a tasty beer. It's very good. I would definitely order it. I guess I'm just comparing it to similar beers within the same group, and I'm not gonna say it falls short. Yeah. It lacks some of the depth I would really want out of it.
I agree with that 100%. I think Untappd, I'm putting this around a 3.75. I actually still really, really like this. I think this is a really good beer, but I don't think it blows my socks off. I like rye barrel aging too. I think it's a good style, but I don't think this hit as far home as some of the other stuff that I've tried. So put it around 3.75.
Yeah.
You? Did you give your rating?
3.25.
Oh, 3.25. Yeah, you did. Just making sure we're on the same page here. All right.
Almost forgot.
Did I say anything about it? I don't remember. Great stuff. Again, Raised Grain. Love this brewery. Love going in there, checking it out. I can't wait for this COVID stuff to be over because I can't wait to go back and hit up their tap room again. Fantastic place to go. If you like what you're seeing here, if you've tried any of these beers, let us know. Hit us up. Let us know in the comments if you've got thoughts. Let us know in the comments if there's other things that you'd like us to see, or like to see from us. As always, like us to see. If you'd like us to see things, it's kind of the same.
They know what we mean.
They know what we mean. Check us out here on YouTube. Like, comment, subscribe. Hit that subscribe button. You'll get notifications as we release new videos pretty much on a weekly basis at this point. Check us out on some of our other social media platforms as well. Untappd, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We've got all of those running today. And we've also got some pretty cool stuff coming up here in the next few weeks. So as March Madness is coming, we kind of have this plan for a Wisconsin beer bracket. So more to come on that as we move forward, but some kind of exciting basketball-themed beer reviews in our near future. Thanks, everybody, for watching. Let us know what you think, and we'll see you on the flip side.
Have a good one.
Have a good one.
Bye. Belgian barrel-aged beer.
That's okay.
Is it?
This isn't an English class.
No, it's a video where we're talking about beer, and I can't talk about beer.